Welcome to On the Bench. On today's show, we're going to pick up where we left off with getting data into CatDV and making it easier to use. So let's put it on the bench and see what's inside. Okay, so if you followed the last couple episodes, we showed you really quickly how to get data off the storage and into the database, how to pull thumbnails on an automatic basis. Now I'm going to show you how you can rip out all the file names and path names and get those into the database, effectively saving you time on the logging process. So let's take a look at the screen. So here we are back in the worker node. Now I've created a couple panels. Now I've just got them randomly named file name and folder name because I want you to see where that data is coming from so it's referenceable. And if we look at the worker node, I'm going to get into our config. We've already got the process set up. I just need to turn it on, but let's look at it before we do. So the process here is going to extract data from, again, the file name and the folder path. It's based off a simple server query, data extraction pending. All right, and I'll show you where that sits. Now, each of these individual actions you see here pull data from a specific location, either the folder name, or if we jump down a little further, we can see it's going to come from the file name. And I'm doing a couple little regions. You can actually make this as big or as small. You might only pull one file name or one folder name, but think about all the data that lives in your folder naming and file naming conventions and how you can get that into the database to save you time from having to log it yourself. All right, so let's go ahead and hit OK. Let's make sure this one is turned on. So I'm going to enable it. I'm going to hit the OK button. We're going to give it a second here to cycle down. Now, while we're doing that, let's take a look at a file so we understand what data we're actually going to get in the system. So if I look at the summary, we've got a couple of things. So in terms of media path, we've got all this rich history here, all this metadata. And in terms of file names, we've got even more. The episode name, the title of the show. So all that is really relevant data that we're going to pull into the database. All right, so I'm going to jump over to my automation panel and I'm going to kick this down to fire off our data extraction path. Hit the save button. Let's do this on a couple locations here. Awesome, awesome. Let's make sure we get a few clips loaded into this. All right, now let's go back to our worker node and make sure it's actually getting the job done. And there it goes. You can see it spinning up and it's running the task for data extraction. So while that's happening, if we go back to CatDV, we're going to do a quick refresh here. And you can see the new pop up, so it's run its task. I'm going to go over to the metadata panel. Now let's look at what we've got inside these locations. So as we can see, we've got file name, and that file name was broken down. So if we look at the original file name and compare that, there it is right there. Jam-ep1-osprey, and we can see how that all floats in here. Let's go down to another one. Let's see some more. And there again, we've got the breakdown of the file names and the file paths. So all of this is a way that you can get metadata out of the file names and out of the folder names and get it in CatDV so it saves your loggers time and makes your searches easier. All right, that's our show for the day. Check us out next time.